Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And today, let me see if I can show you. Okay, on our last video, we left off here. We wanted to display the. Let me see if I can minimize and open. Okay, this is our goal. You see, to fetch images from the internet like this. So let's go back to our application. Okay, let me try to reboot it maybe. Okay, how are we going to do this? If you go back to our file, you can see that this is a map. It's not a list. We're dealing with a map. This JSON file is in the map format. So what we want to get, you'll write future map, and the name of the function will be get pix, right? Here we're going to write async. Async only means is a synchronous process. Asynchronous processing is basically being able to do a certain process and in the same time do any other thing or be waiting for another process to complete, then to execute the current process. Like, it's kind of difficult for me to understand, but basically means while the application is doing something, it will request the server to provide the links of the images, right? Then we'll get those images, and when we get the images, the processing of the application will resume from where we started, and the images will be implemented into our application, our list view. Every time you wait for something, every time when you're executing a certain process, and in the middle of that you have to wait for a response from a server or anything, you have to use the async, right? Okay, now let's write a string here, and we're going to call this API. You can just call it URL. This is the API URL, and let's just come here and copy this URL. Come inside of this, paste. Now here where we have the key, we can easily replace this because we have okay, we can copy this and cut, because remember we have this key API key variable here, so we can come here and write API key. Now you may be asking why. Let's suppose sometimes you want to change the key of your API, and you will develop this application from here. You don't really want to come and search where I have the API and try to change. You can open the source file and change the API key, and everything will work. Okay, let's continue. Now there's something we have to do here. When we import the HTTP Dart, let's write this as HTTP. Basically, here inside of this file, every time we're using this HTTP, we're giving a reference to this import file. Okay. Now we write HTTP dot response. Let's give this response as the name is equal to await get. What are we going to get? We want to get the URL. Is http.get, and I still have okay, it's done. supposed to write http.get. Now here you have to return something of a future type. We'll return, what are we going to return? JSON dot decode, and inside of here we want the response dot body, and now this error is gone. So this is the function. Let's go over it again. Future map, meaning we are waiting for a map, we are waiting for certain data that will come in the future. That's why we're using the future type. And the type of data we're using, or the return type we were expecting from this function, is a map. We are expecting to get a map. And inside of here, we're giving string URL. We are creating a variable that will store the URL, right? Then we want the HTTP response to get this URL, right? And we return a JSON file. We decode the file, and we want the response, we want the body of the response we are going to get from this URL, right? This may sound kind of complicated, but as you keep working with APIs and all of this stuff, this will become easy for you to understand. Okay, so what now? Now let's come in here. Where's our future? Wait. I'm looking first page now. I'm looking for the second page. Second page, okay. Second page is what we want. Let's come in here to our second page, and here we are going to create it's going to be body, and for the body we're going to give new future builder. And this widget, it uses we can directly, it's like you're saying we are going to build a widget for the body, but the content of the widget we still have to get, like we don't have it now. That's why we're creating a future builder. And you're creating a future builder, you can give future, and for the future we are going to give that function we created down, which is called future peaks. Basically we are saying that this future builder is going to use the future peaks function, right? And in here we're going to create the context and the snapshot. Then, so what's happening here? Content is basically where this widget is located inside of the widget tree. Context is where the widget is located. Snapshot is a snapshot of the data of the information, or the information we're going to get from this function here, right? Let's create a map. We're going to call this map data, and I'm going to say that this data is equal to snapshot dot data. So the data from the snapshot we can store inside of this variable. Now let's find or see some conditions. If, let's suppose what snapshot dot has error, in case we have error in our snapshot, what are we going to do? First, let's print snapshot dot error, and now let us return, because we want to return, we have to return something. will return us text widget to the user, and inside of this text we're going to say let's failed to get response from the server. I'm going to write, okay, failed to get response from the server. Let's give this some style, like color. We have to write text style first. Text style, what's happening? Okay, the text style we're going to give, then we come here, color, and we're going to give color is equal to what? Color is equal to, let's give it colors dot red. Okay, and we can give the font size. We can give 22 for the font size. Right. Okay, and now here what's left for us to do? Let's check if else if snapshot dot has data. And here we're basically saying if we have the content we want to do something. And what are we going to do? We're going to return. Unfortunately, we don't have ways of testing this while we're writing. I hate to write a lot of code then test, because sometimes we get error, but for this case, there's no other go, unfortunately. Okay, we're going to hit return. What are we going to return? Let's give it new center, for example. We're going to return a new center widget, and inside of this we can do what? Child new list view builder, and before we have the item builder, we'll come here and give item count, and for the item count let's give data dot length, and this is basically what this data this data map we created here. We're giving data dot length. For the item builder, we're going to give the context and also the index. Okay, and what are we going to give in here? Okay, here let's try to create return, or we can write new. No, what's this? Return new. We're going to return a new column because we really need to use a column here. Don't forget the semicolon here. Okay, and inside of this, what are we going to do? Let's give these children, and we may need to give this a padding. Let's try to write new padding, maybe they will help us. I like this. Then const Let's give this edge insets all. Let's give 5.0. Okay. And in here, what else can we do? Well, what else do we need inside of these? We need to have the images displaying, but I would like to put that inside of a container. New container, and inside of this container I'll give a child of, let's give this inkwell, because I want to be able to tap on the images. I don't want just to have images, untappable images. So let's give this inkwell, and for the inkwell you have to give a property called on tab. For now we'll give an empty function, and inside of the inkwell we're going to provide a child, and for the child now we can give the new image dot network, because we want the image from the network. Now it's going to ask you for this, the source of the image, and here we can give it, we can just come down here. Let's open our Chrome. For example, we have these. How are we going to access this? We can try to do this in the following manner. We'll write data in here, and for the data we first will write, actually it has to be done like this. Okay, now we write data, and for the data we first write hits. Why? Because this, all of the contents we want are inside of hits. You see, that's why we write hits. Then after hits we are going to give what? We are going to give the index, and after the index, that's when we give where is our image on the internet. This is the URL. You can just come and copy here. You copy the key of the map, large image URL. You can just write it if you want to. Large image URL. This is what we're going to return. Wow, we are writing a lot of code. I hope we get no errors here. But okay, what else do we need to do? Now let's try to see what are we going to do in case we don't have the data. And the function ends here. So we're going to provide another else if here. And let's try this, giving, what's the condition? Not snapshot dot has data. Basically saying, if the snapshot doesn't have data, we want you to return new center. How do you call that? I guess it's circular. I'm forgetting the name of something. Okay, give me a second. Okay guys, sorry, I was forgetting the name of something I saw, but I guess that now I can get it right. It's called circular progress indicator. This is what we want. In case we have no data. Okay. Now we want to see if this works or not. Let's try to run, and in case of errors, we'll try to solve them. Let's see, let's pray. Okay, I'll wait a second. I don't want to. Okay, I don't need to wait no second. Oops, I accidentally just click it to start processing again. But no problem. You have it processing. Now let's see what's going to happen. We have these and these. And you can tell that the API is working, right? It may take couple seconds to load all of the images, but fortunately the API is working. And you may find something. Every time you only get this much images, 3, because we are using the API for free. They only provide you with 3 images. That's sad, but okay. Anyhow, you're getting the API for free. And I guess that our goal is met for now. Our goal is met. I don't really like this space here. How can we solve this before we end the video? Okay, let's try to remove this padding here. If I remove the padding there, I click on container, I can come here and insert the padding, restart the application, and see what happens. Okay, we still have this, so I'll try to find a way to solve this. Oh, it's done. We don't have it. Now we have it down here, but no problem. Right? Our application is working. Our goal is met. See you on the next one. Unfortunately, I had to make this one long, but you know, we had no options. See you. Oops.